After years of prototypes, the first Klaxxon Vinyl Record Drawer production samples have arrived. I'm Kane from FNRBLR, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the new production samples for the Klaxxon Vinyl Record Drawer, and I'm going to answer some of your biggest questions, so let's get into it. The production samples are meant to be the final version of the product, fully packaged and ready to go, which represent what will be finally manufactured and shipped to you. So I've spent the last couple of weeks of going through and making sure everything's working as intended. Now, overall, I'm really stoked with the way everything's turned out. The quality is really high. The colors are fantastic. The craftsmanship, all of it is working really, really well. There's a couple of niggling things that still need to change, and there's a couple of design and functional improvements that we're making to the next round. That means we're going to have to make another round of production samples before we press go in the manufacturing, and that means the timeline's going to slow down a little bit. Here's the quick pitch. The Klaxxon Vinyl Record Drawer is a drawer for your records that works with the IKEA Kallax. Holds up to 80 records, comes in 3 colors, warm ash, white and black. And if you want to know more, you can go and visit the website. But let's get into the details. My biggest fear was a fully loaded drawer opened, tipping the Kallax over. So I created the worst case scenario I could think of. I put one drawer in, fully loaded it with vinyl records and opened it as far as possible, and then allowed it to sit there in an otherwise empty Kallax. As you can see, it only just retains its balance. But the moment you've got a second drawer in there, even an empty one, it doesn't naturally tip over. This is an extreme example, and in no way am I recommending doing this. I'm just genuinely surprised that it didn't fall over. Now, with 2 fully packed Klaxxon Vinyl Record Drawers inside a Kallax, it doesn't move at all. And in fact, if you pull out any drawer and move it back, it stays completely and utterly upright. So that fear has been completely allayed. That said, the Vinyl Record Drawer does work with IKEA's official anti-tipping brackets. Those are the ones that came in the IKEA Kallax packaging when you first bought it. Chances are you've thrown them out, or it's sitting in that drawer full of cables. If you don't have them, you can always pick them up from an IKEA store or order those replacements online. We've made sure that there's enough space for the drawers to work with those anti-tip brackets. I would suggest removing the plastic brackets, and if you do have them, you should definitely be trying to install your Kallax against the wall just because of the weight and the balance. And overall, it will create a very stable setup. So will the Kallax tip over? I mean, if you're using the brackets in the wall, yeah, it won't. Everything's designed to keep in place, and even in the worst case scenarios, we've found that everything should stay up. So treat your system well, it won't tip over. My second biggest fear is the drawer falling out, ruining my collection and damaging my floor. And that's where the catch and grab system comes in. This is the same system that originally developed for the Bale Vinyl Record Drawer, but it's been improved on, refined, and it now works much, much better. Here's how it works. There are 3 parts to the mechanism. The top bumper is a broad, flat felt strip that is applied to the steel back of the drawer. The nubs are hard, round, felt-covered guides and are situated at the back and bottom of the steel base. The side runners are made from the same industrial-strength felt pads and are applied to the side walls of the Kallax using a super strong self-adhesive. The side runners act as a block for the drawer fronts, preventing them from sliding too far back into the Kallax and also ensuring that the fronts stay nice and flush. They also stop the nub at the back of the drawer, which prevents the drawer from falling out. When the drawer weight balance is shifted to the front of the drawer, the top bumper starts to bear the weight, and in combination with the locked nubs and the side runners, the drawer becomes wedged into the Kallax frame. This is what I'm calling the catch and grab system, and it works really, really well. The real test is whether it can hold up for an extended period of time. To test the theory, I loaded the drawer with as many records as it possibly could hold and extended the drawer so it was open as far as possible. I even gave it a little push and moved the records forward to make sure there was as much weight in there as possible. This was a worst case scenario. I left the drawer open for 24 hours, in fact it was over 24 hours, and nothing moved. Records didn't slip, the drawer didn't change inside the Kallax. I'm delighted that everything worked as expected. Installation is really simple. Everything you need is contained in the box. Now, the first one might take you 10 minutes to set up, but after that, it should take you 5 minutes to create each individual drawer and put it into your Kallax. Using the included Allen key, connect the back to the base. Then attach the circular nubs to the frame, making sure to use the countersunk screws which have a flat head. Finally, attach the drawer front to the base. The drawer is now finished. Next, we need to add the side runners to the Kallax unit. Grab the felt spacer tool and bend it over, place it on the Kallax, peel the back off the side runner, line it up so that the curves are facing towards the top of the side runner, push it against the side, and that's it. Then simply face the drawer up, move the drawer back into the unit, and once the nubs have passed the side runners, bring the drawer down and slide back into place. And you're done. And now you can start adding vinyl to your drawer. A divider is included with every single drawer, and it serves a couple of purposes. Mostly it's designed to keep the records at the perfect 7-degree flipping angle. Flipping angle? It's also designed to distribute the weight of the records as well, so that it's spread across a larger sort of surface area. And lastly, it's used to present your records at the front of the drawer as your collection grows. If you've just started collecting, position the divider at the front so your records stand up and stay visible, and then move it into a new position as you add more records as your collection grows. And for extensive collections, keep the divider in the final position, as it will keep your collection at the perfect flipping angle and will provide extra support for your records, spreading the weight across a larger surface area. There is one small trade-off that I thought was going to be a bigger problem, but turns out it's not that big of a problem at all. Because of the catch and grab system, the back of the drawer sits about 6 centimeters in, sometimes a bit less, which meant that some of the records at the back of your collection weren't easily exposed. My concern was that it was going to be hard to get your fingers in there to pull them forward. However, there's plenty of room at the back, there's plenty of space vertically and to the side to actually loop your fingers in there and pull those last few records forward so that you can flip through them. The reality is the Kallax was never designed to hold that much weight. I mean, it does, and chances are most of you have your Kallax filled with records. We all do, but only in extreme circumstances has it ever sort of collapsed. But it's not made for that much weight. When you look at IKEA's official guidelines, you can see that it only officially supports up to 13 kilograms of weight. And a drawer full of records is probably going to be between 25 and 30 kilograms of weight. But chances are you're already overstepping that 13 kilo boundary by putting your records in there stacked vertically as it is. The Klaxxon Vinyl Record Drawer is a hack. It's doing a job that the Kallax was never supposed to officially support. So in that case, it is always a risk loading it up. And look, full disclosure, I'm not a lawyer, clearly. I'm just a guy that had a problem that wanted to solve, and so I built these and made it happen myself, and now I'm trying to see if anyone else wants it out there. So all I'm saying is that, you are taking on that risk. Read the full documentation on the IKEA website and make your own informed decision about how you want to proceed. That said, the Bale record drawers, which is the original version of this that I made 5 years ago, has been performing well over the past 5 years. The Kallax hasn't damaged, it hasn't collapsed, it hasn't fallen out. I'm not saying that as legal advice or anything like that. I'm just giving you my own personal experience. All right, so the original plan was to have the pre-orders out by the end of May. That was based on the assumption that production samples were going to be perfect and ready to go. However, they weren't, they're not. There's still a couple of tweaks that I want to make before they are 100% ready. Now, if I don't trust my collection in them, I can't ask you to trust your collection in them. So once it's past my sort of, quality control standards and I'm happy with everything, then we'll get started with manufacturing. But that means I'm not going to commit to a timeline at the moment. I'm not sure when the next production samples are going to come in, but I'm working very hard to get them to you, and I'm super keen to get them out the door. I'm also trying to make these as affordable as possible, but certain world events mean that logistics and supplies and shipping and tariffs are just all over the place at the moment. And because I'm still making changes, I still need to lock down the wholesale costs so that I can then work out the retail pricing is. But rest assured, I'm trying to make these affordable as possible. Just a reminder, only people on the wait list will get access to the pre-order option. That's the only people I'll be marketing it to. And there will be a discount for the pre-order people only. So if you haven't signed up, make sure you go to the FNRBLR.com website, link in the description. Make sure you're on the wait list, and you'll be sent pre-order details when they're available. If you have any questions, drop a comment below, or go to the FNRBLR.com website, or jump on Instagram and slide into my DMs. I just want to thank you for your support. It really, really means a lot to me. I'm working as hard as I can to get these to you, so thank you for your patience. And remember, dig deep, spin loud.